CIP Study Abroad and Immigration. Today, I have the pleasure of inviting Suryaban to the talk, our CIP International Graduate Review. Suryaban, very close to us, but you'd be surprised. I'm actually seeing him for the first time. He's one of my very, very first students. He's very busy. He's never made it to our parties, but he's always there to give us feedback. He's always there in the group supporting. Thank you very much. So Suryaban is permanent resident of Canada. He started his journey with CIP back in 2018. 2017 was when 2016 I left my job in Mohawk College, and 2017 September was actually the first intake we had students. We started with 10, and today we receive more than 1,000 applications thanks to Suryaban and all the other good people like Avinash Dubey here also. All the students who have made us successful. So congratulations, Suryaban, and pleasure having you.
Thank you.
Do the talk. So Suryaban, where are you from, and and how is Canada treating you?
So originally I'm from Jammu and Kashmir. I'll talk bit of my background, and then we'll go from there. So guys, my name is Suryaban Singh, and originally I'm from JNK. I came in 2018 in September intake. Thank you to Gautham sir, who helped me getting into this beautiful country. And it's been 5 years, I guess, more than 5 years, and the time just flew. Talking about my education background, I did my bachelor's in computer science, and I did postgrad in cybersecurity from George Brown College. Passed out in 2019. Do have experience now. I think I have experience of more than in Canada. I have experience of 5 years itself. I was lucky enough. When I landed in Canada, I got the job in Rogers as a technical support, and within 3 months, I was able to get the projects. So internally, you get opportunities inside the companies where you can tell your peers that you are into cybersecurity or you want to be.
Starting with, let's talk first question: is Canada safe?
Canada is
happening now, right? Like everybody's asking.
No. It's just like a hoax. I think it's very safe. It's very friendly. Our neighbors are really nice. People are very helpful. It's just I think just because of the politicians, they just made some stories, and I think India is going beyond when it comes to the news agencies.
Exactly,
don't trust them.
Exactly.
Yeah, it's very safe. It's very nice.
Yeah, so my two neighbors this side and two neighbors this side are actually Sikhs, and on Sunday, on Saturday, I was actually in Gurdwara with them. So they were recently, their son had celebrated their first year son's birthday. So they had this prayers in Gurdwara, and they invited us. So guys, when we talk about pro-Khalistan, it's a very small percentage of, I would say people who don't have anything else to do or some personal ambitions who really go in. But in general, right, it's very safe, and nobody, yahan pe dharna nahi hota, yahan pe road roko, rasta roko nahi hota. People don't have into all that. So these things don't happen. So it's a pretty much safe, right?
Yes.
Yeah. So your decision to come to Canada, was it a good decision?
I think it was one of the best decisions of my life. In India, they're like, I didn't get like a lot of opportunities, but Canada is like full of opportunities. When it comes to jobs, when it comes to the right education, you will definitely get the opportunities for sure.
That's nice. And you studied in George Brown College, and
yes.
I still remember I actually have a meeting with George Brown, hopefully this week, and we might get approval for India. We work with George Brown College for many countries, but for India, we do help students like Suryaban, but we don't get paid by George Brown College, but still pleasure. Hopefully we get this time now. Yeah. So how was your experience in George Brown College? How was the college? And you studied 2 programs, right? You studied cybersecurity, and you also took the bridging program, 4 months, if I remember.
the bridging program. So in George Brown College, usually colleges have 2 semesters or 4 semesters, but George Brown College offers you 3 semesters, and then they will offer you a bridging course for just 1 semester. So you can they will give you a lot of options. Specifically for cybersecurity, they just give like 2 options. One is the network technician, and the other one is and the wireless networking. Network technician is a downgraded version of any computer program, and wireless networking is totally like 5G, 4G, LTE, those kind of things they teach.
Okay. So how were you able to manage your study and part-time, right? Like for a lot of students, part-time is very important. Did it really take a lot of time? Did it take a lot of time to get a part-time job? And how did you manage your work and study schedule?
Uh, so for me, Gautam sir, I will still say I was a bit on the lucky side where the moment I landed, within 7 days, I got the part-time job in Rogers,
Wow.
and for me, it was not at all challenge. And after that, I referred around 25 to 30 people in Rogers while I was working there, and it's pretty easy to get a job. Sometimes it's just like we start from searching a very small kind of jobs, but I will recommend to you, to your team, or the students you're guiding, just tell them that they don't have to go to store. Indeed is one of the best sites. You just search online and you will get way better job opportunities while sitting at home. So
Exactly. Very important, guys. This is online. Going store to door will not really help. And again, I have nothing bad about our own country people. Try to look for corporate jobs. Don't go for small stores, pizza stores. I very unfortunately, I actually, when I was very young, when I was 19, I went to London, UK, and I worked there for 5 months for Mahindra Bhai Patel. He had a newspaper store, and the guy didn't pay me for 4 months. And I lost my health. I got septic arthritis. You see my hand and my hip joint. I need a hip replacement. So guys, if it is possible, look for good companies, corporate companies that will help, McDonald's, Tim Hortons, and all that. But don't really worry. Eventually, everybody will get a part-time job. It's a question of time.
Yeah, it's a question of time. You will definitely get the jobs, and we have very strong communities. Specifically, even Gautham sir's page, you can, if you want to apply for any particular company, and you can literally ask, guys, I'm trying to apply to Rogers, or let's say Canadian Tire, or Loblaws, or any other company you think of. Somebody will definitely refer you, because reference will help you as well, and the person will get paid as well. So it's give and take. The moment I will refer you, I will get like around $2,000, and you will get a job.
Oh,
right? So
that's nice. Please give your reference. We'll send all students your way.
yeah, that is how Gautham sir, it works in corporate. So I think it's a whomsoever is planning to come to Canada, you guys will be having a very bright future. You have to be very positive on the other side as well, because you will see a lot of people who are well off from their back, and they will say they're just planning to go back. But I have really seen people going back, because it's an amazing company. It's an amazing country, and positive people like Gautham sir, which always encourage you to be in this country. I'm planning to apply for my citizenship as well, but just due to a few of the things right now, because of the politicians, I have delayed that. But yes, looking forward to be a Canadian citizen soon.
Hopefully, yeah. I haven't also applied. It's been 10 years almost. Soon I have to apply for my citizenship as well. I've been postponing it. Like a doctor doesn't treat himself, a surgeon doesn't do it. It's also the same situation with me. But as you said, yes, in all my career, I've actually had on fingertips, I can count people who went back to India due to their personal choices. But everybody from CIP till now who have graduated and have successfully got their PR, just like Surya. Oh, so Surya, job market, right? Like,
yes.
What would you advise? How tough was for you to get your first full-time job? Can you just share your journey about getting after your study visa to a full-time IT professional?
Yeah, so I was working at Rogers as a, they hired me as a technical support, but I was doing the projects. And the moment I got into my work permit, they gave me the full-time opportunity in cybersecurity. and then I switched from one company to another one. And finding a job is not a challenge at all. But make sure, guys, you're working on your resumes. You should have a Excel file, a very good LinkedIn profile. If you don't have a good LinkedIn profile or your resume is not good, there's a probability that you will not be shortlisted. But right now we have a beautiful, app, which is ChatGPT. So ChatGPT can also help you building your resume, work on your resume, spend time on your resume and apply for the job. Just don't just apply, go on LinkedIn, look for that particular position. Who is the hiring manager? Who are your teammates gonna be? So if you will check with them that, how is the work culture, what kind of work they do that you're gonna do, and align it if you are interested in that particular job role. If you are, then you can contact to the manager, and then managers will specifically ask the HR that, I want to interview this particular guy, and then it's an easier path to get into to any company. That is how I did it.
Yeah, we all talked about the good things, but in reality, life is always challenges, good things and bad things and challenges happening. What are the most, if you had any tough times here in Canada, what were your most challenging times you had to face as a student and, before you became a permanent resident as a postgraduate work permit holder? It's good to prepare. See, I would advise, guys, if you are weak at heart, if you're not unable to focus, going abroad from your comfort zone is only for the tough people. If you are not willing to put up a fight and and also put efforts for your success, this is not for you. So please be sure that you understand what you are. This is a huge challenge and this is a lifetime commitment, and at least 3 to 4 years will be difficult for you guys to move from your, I think even in India also the same, right? When you're a fresh year looking for a job, it takes time. Right. So what were your most toughest times or challenges you had to face here?
My toughest time was during the student. I used to work in York Mills here. It's one of the small town in Toronto, and I used to live in Etobicoke back then. So my work, it was part-time, 5 hours. So I used to work from 8 to midnight 1. So, it used to take me around 1.5 hours to come and then 2 hours to go back. So I used to, used to be in my home by early morning, 4 o'clock or 3 o'clock, just because, if you miss a night bus, after 30 minutes, it will come back. And then I have seen a lot of wild animals as well while, I'm traveling alone in the midnight. So I think that was one of the challenges. And then, once you get your full-time job, they align the best times for you. But part-timers, definitely, they're gonna ask you in Canada specifically, Gautham. So I'm sure you are aware they have like a ranking system. The more late you will join in the roster, you will get less options to choose the best timings, right? So usually the newcomers will work from 8 to 1 or 9 to 2. So I think that was one of the toughest challenges for me.
Anything else you had the tough times?
I will say I was very worried about PR as well. Like as usual, your students are. Definitely they say that PR. But I find it that you have to plan everything. Make sure you're confident, make sure you're working, you're putting the right experiences, you're not lying with anything, and then you're preparing for CELPIP or IELTS. I have seen a lot of people scoring a lot of scores in CELPIP, whereas in IELTS it's challenging sometimes. But I think this year itself they have introduced by taking the retests on particular modules. So I think even IELTS is not a big challenge, but make sure that right now today we have like a girl from RBC. She was talking to Gautham sir, but when Gautham sir asked her like, what is your CRS score, so she didn't knew her score. So that is like a big thing. You have to know
you
about
have to be on the top. This is a very basic,
on the top of it.
Like 2-3 minutes. I think she just didn't want to say that she's pretty much independent girl. I'm sure she knows. So but guys, very important, right? Just to add what Surya was saying, guys, you have to understand how the express entry, it's a point-based system, and freshers and undergraduate students are at a huge disadvantage. So my advice, please listen to me. सबको जल्दी हो जा जल्दी बहुत जल्दी होता है कि हाँ कनाडा पहुंचना है, but guys, take time off. If you're a fresher, try to get 1 to 2 years work experience, because that will add points to your express entry, and that will also make it easy for finding full-time jobs later if you have work experience. So even if you are studying, right, if you're in your 4th year, try to start and get a full-time job work experience, study and work, that is still counted. So that's very important. Freshers are at a disadvantage. People who come to Canada without work experience are disadvantaged. So please make sure that you have at least 1 year work experience before you come to Canada. Valid work experience, which will be counted towards your express entry. Right, Surya?
That is absolutely correct. But I think Gautam sir, nowadays Canada have some skill-based scores as well.
Yeah.
So that will also help. So a lot of students who don't have the experience, but they have the relevant skill sets, they can also get the PR easily. That is the only point I wanted to add.
Yeah, targeted draws definitely important as well, especially, IT professionals, healthcare professionals. There's going to be big draws, big numbers from this. Transport, agricultural, trade occupations limited, but still you guys are lucky. You might, even if you have a lower CRS score, you will get your PR, right?
Yeah.
So anything else you would advise all the prospective students who are planning Canada?
I will say, your roommates, your flatmates, your friends definitely matters in Canada. So make sure you choose your friendship very wisely. If you're gonna be with the truck drivers, you will think in that particular direction, that you want to drive a truck. If you're gonna be with IT professionals, you're gonna be thinking in a direction of IT professional. If you're gonna be with the entrepreneurs, you're gonna be thinking in the direction of entrepreneurs. So make sure whatever is your interest, you have that circle, because if you have a different circle, you're gonna switch your career path, and then it's gonna again take some time. So be very specific with people, because it really helps you. It helped me. I feel very good when I see myself, my journey with Gautam sir. He knows my journey from very start. I have never, I spoke to you, I think 3 months back, and he remembered everything. So that's phenomenal. I don't have that memory like you, but it's a phenomenal thing.
No, you were one of our 2018 was when we really grew big, starting from 10. We went to 200 within the second year. And Suryaban, I always remember, because Suryaban, I'm very personal, because you guys trust me. And for me, I'm very obliged. I feel more like a mentor, like a uncle, father, brother. And Suryaban was
Yes.
always very, very, very official. He now has kind of loosened a bit, but the day I remember talking to him, every time he was so official, Gautham sir, and he didn't really, I joke, but he was still serious. He had this, so
Yeah.
I still remember you, but yes, I do remember, when I talk 4 or 5 times, I do remember, because for me, to be honest, me and CIP team, we are blessed. We have never advertised in India, and yet we receive thousands of applicants contacting us every day. So thank you very much, Suryaban. You applied through CIP. You never met me. You just saw a Facebook or WhatsApp, right? Those days we didn't even have a Facebook group. We just started, I think, those days, right? But
yeah, I think.
Yeah. Go ahead.
I used to have your personal number. I used to call you directly
Yes.
that time. You didn't have the. I think you that time there was like a very you used to have like a new team in Hyderabad, but in J&K you didn't. And then
We didn't
luckily
have
you
anybody out there.
supported me, and Anil sir just helped me with my application, and that's it. Bingo.
Yeah,
We got
Anil
the.
is still here. He is actually the director of CIP. Today we have 7 offices in India.
Yeah.
Ludhiana is still waiting for the license. That's a 7th office. And hopefully Chennai coming up as well. So again, we are a virtual platform, just like Surya. He never met us. And, out of, it's a blessing for me, and also, I guess, for you guys, to find somebody who is here, who had some senior work experience and RCIC without paying any money or anything out here. So, it's pleasure. Okay. Well, thank you very much, Suryaban. Pleasure having you, and looking forward
Thank you.
to having you at any of our, at our parties. if you can.
100%. I always see you online. I'm always watching your videos, but I was not aware that it's on the Zoom, so I always watch on Facebook or Instagram. But today, for the first time, I just joined on Zoom, and you just caught me like Surya is here, so let's catch him.
I know we don't really plan these marketing events. Some agencies especially do it. For me, Agieto, then it's good. So thank you very much for joining and giving your precious time.
Thank you, Gautham sir. You take care. Bye.
So God bless you and take care.